Everyone loves buying holiday gifts, but the credit card hangover? Not so much. Well, Old Navy is outdoing even Santa with their prices this season. They have incredible prezzies for everyone on your list, like matching jingle jammies, statement-making coats, and the coziest sweaters. And Old Navy has tons of gifts for under $15, so you can buy yourself a little something too. Sorry, not sorry. So pop by a store or visit oldnavy.com.
You know those times in the day when you can't fit in a full podcast? Running out to the store, walking the dog, or washing the dishes? Jam is the new way to listen when you have just enough time for the perfect short audio playlist. Get started at listentojam.com/podcast and get your daily Jam playlist filled with more voices in less time. With Jam, you can choose from news, parenting tips, wellness advice, and more. Go to listentojam.com/podcast and satisfy your curiosity with short audio. Discover something new every day.
Welcome to the Hypothalamic Amenorrhea podcast. I'm Danny Sheriff, your host, certified fertility awareness practitioner, functional nutrition counselor, and founder of the HA Society, and of course, an HA recovery coach who has walked where you currently are walking. This is the place to come if you care about getting your period regularly. This podcast aims to educate, inform, and keep you motivated on your period and HA recovery track. So let's dive in. But last thing, nothing on the show should be taken as medical advice, so please seek the advice of your physician.
Here's the cloud. Hey everyone. Before we jump into this episode, we have some very exciting news. January 10, the next cohort of the Restore program is here. And we have put some rocket fuel on this program. We are so excited.
Yes, we are so pumped to bring you a program with weekly, yes, you heard that right, weekly live coaching. And this isn't just random, hey, what's kind of come to our mind, but this is very structured coaching sessions that we feel is vital to your recovery, meaning that we're going to get straight to the root that's holding you back.
Totally. We ran the very first version of this just at the endish of last year, and it went so well. We saw what worked, what didn't. We fine-tuned it, and the feedback was incredible. And I think it's to what you were saying, Ashley, this weekly coaching, it's not just these group calls. It's where we do food reviews for every single person. You'll have 3 food reviews so we can review your diary and give you actual feedback on exactly what you are eating as you move through the program to help make sure you're moving forward, as well as exercise reviews and any kind of advice that you need around that kind of thing. And the coolest part, which we didn't do last time and we're so excited to be adding in, is there will be email and one-on-one call check-in points as well for each client.
Basically, meaning that you're going to have the structure of how to move forward and the support all in one. It's literally the best coaching package you're going to come across. Like, I was joking with Danny, but this might be the greatest bundle in the world. Like, we are bundling all of our services to be the most effective course you could go through and get your period back.
I think that's a really great way to put it, right? We've taken the elements of one-on-one coaching that we do that's so effective, and the elements of our community, the HA Society, put it together in one and been like, okay, here's the community aspect. We're going to do these live coaching sessions, but we have developed an actual syllabus for all of it that we know through all of our experience with all of these clients. We know that these are the fundamental things you need to know, right? And so we've put that in a class with a group and brought one-on-one coaching in to help make sure you're getting the individualization that is extremely important for each person. And it's amazing. It is literally the best bundle in the entire world.
Yes.
So We don't want to keep you from the episode much longer, but we want to prepare you. January 10, the Restore program is opening. There is 100% a spot with your name on it. Because if you're done wasting time, like, right, actually, you should just get in these people's ear.
Basically, we don't want you wasting any more time on like something that can be fixed. You're not the unicorn. I hate to tell you that you're not the unicorn. And I don't want you to be the unicorn. Come get your hormones restored, your period restored. And if you want to have a baby, let's do that too. I mean, I can't exactly help you, like,
Yeah, we're there.
process, but we can get you ready. You can get that too.
Yeah. It's like, what is getting your period back worth to you? Is it worth waiting any more? Is it worth continuing to DIY it? Which there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to actually get your period back and have it be in the healthy parameters and work hard on your relationship with your body and with food, this program is 100% perfect for you. So come and get the help of both Ashley and myself, both of us, right?
Yes.
Taking you through this program along with everyone else that joins you. Come and do it. Check out thehasociety.com/restore. Sign up for the wait list. Get ready because Restore is coming and 2023 is going to be your year.
Yes. Excited to see you there.
Nice. All right, on with the show. Guys, welcome back to my channel. This is an interesting video today. I am going to be talking to you, going through the basics of how menstrual cycles work in the context of someone who doesn't have a period right now to help make this more clear. The reason that I'm doing this video is because I got an email from Diana, okay? Hey, Diana, I'm going to answer your email question. I'm going to read Diana's email. And here's the thing. If one person is asking this question, it means more people are probably wondering the exact same question, right? So I would love to hear from you, listener, in the comments. Shoot me an email if you want to. Was this helpful? Like, are there elements of how periods work that are confusing you that you would like more clarity on? Because don't feel embarrassed as well either if you feel like you should understand this, because that's not true. Like, it takes work to learn and understand how hormones work and how the menstrual cycle works. So Diana's question: I am trying to recover for years now. This year was much better than earlier. I had periods after no period at all, but still something is no good. Anyways, what is not clear for me are the following things. If you do not have any ovulation sign, nothing at all, how do you know where does your follicular phase and your luteal phase start? I had lots of periods like that, sometimes 120 days long, other times 48 days. So in a nutshell, this question is, how do I know where my follicular phase is, where my luteal phase is, if I have no signs of ovulation at all? So it's entirely possible that you are not ovulating, right? And that is why you're unsure when and if you ovulated. This is why we track temperatures and cervical mucus. We keep an eye on whether or not our temperatures are in range, and we watch to see for a clear and obvious shift in our basal body temperature. We check this every day, once a day, before we get up out of bed at a consistent time, so we can see this. And then once it's risen, we can confirm after 3 days where the temperatures were higher than the previous 6, we can confirm the ovulation happened. And then we can use mucus as a cross check. Were we seeing mucus, and then did it go dry and we stopped seeing mucus? And basically the temperature rise and the stop of mucus should correlate within about a day of each other. And that's a very obvious sign that you ovulated. So that's what you're looking for. Now, if you're saying that those are not working, I'm not seeing mucus, I'm not seeing temp rises, and you're basically not having periods, or you're having periods 120 days apart, what I'm thinking here is that you're either not ovulating, or you're having a really long follicular phase and then you're ovulating, but it's for such a short period of time, right? Your luteal phase is only like 2-3 days that you're barely noticing, or you're not actually registering this temp rise because it's not for long enough. Does that make sense? So contrary to popular belief, anovulation, not ovulating, is not really, it's not as common. It's not definitely happening, right? More likely you are ovulating with a really short luteal phase. Progesterone's not high enough. And so it's not looking like ovulation, but it is. So to the trained eye, we can see the difference between anovulation and just a poor ovulation. So I really want to try and answer this question clearly. If you are having some periods and they're really far apart and you can't tell if it's ovulation, it either isn't ovulation or your progesterone is so low that you can't tell ovulation. And in this scenario, you likely still need to eat more and you still need to rest more. And there are other things that you can do, especially if you're having a really short luteal phase. And I have other videos about that. But yeah, like you should be able to tell if you've ovulated. And if you aren't and you're unsure, I recommend you work with someone to help you identify what's really happening. Because if you're not trained in it, it is hard.
We have been working with women one-on-one to get their periods back for well over a year, and it's been really effective. We strongly believe that you need a individualized custom recovery protocol that goes across nutrition, lifestyle, mindset, exercise, the whole thing. And we believe in that a lot. We're not really willing to waver from that. But what we have been doing up until now is only offering video-based coaching. And we've been hearing from you guys that that's great, but doesn't work for everyone. So we want to implement this new trial of email-based only coaching. So no scheduling, no Zoom calls. It's all through email. We do a weekly check-in, so you'll send us an email once a week with all of your details, what was working, what's not working. We'll make tweaks and changes to the plan. We'll also get you on track with learning to use the fertility awareness method to track progress. You'll get a customized program. We'll be basically holding your hand through the whole process, and you'll also be able to chat with us as much as you want, or to your assigned coach as much as you need in between these weekly official check-ins. So who is email-based coaching for? It's for anyone who is going through HA recovery, trying to get their period back. It's for anyone who has had a recovery period or 2 or 3 and is looking for help optimizing or getting pregnant or getting back to training and trying to ensure that training isn't getting in the way of their menstrual cycle. We're all about custom goals here, and everyone's an individual and everyone's life is individual. And so we want to work with you to reach whatever goal you have in a way that works with your lifestyle and your mindset, all while helping you to have a solid, healthy relationship with food, with your body, with your exercise. That's our whole mission. So if that's your mission, come and join us. We'd love to work with you at thehasociety.com/coaching. Go there, hit buy now, get started, and I'll immediately send you your intake forms and we can get started with your goals right away. So that's thehasociety.com/coaching.
And then the other thing, ways to sort of tell, okay, if you do not have any ovulation sign, nothing at all, how do you know? Okay. And so to answer the specific question of how do you know where follicular phase starts and ends and luteal phase begins and ends, right? Follicular phase is the first day of your bleed and it ends on the first day of your risen temperature and or your first dry day. So no mucus. And that's how you can tell. And you're saying you don't see any signs of this, which does make it really hard, but it's highly likely that it's just very hard for you to tell through the fine details of what's happening. So if at the end of 120 days, so 118 days, you have a spike and it stays up for 2-3 days and it comes back down and then you bleed, that was probably your ovulation and your progesterone was really low. You know when your luteal phase happens because after your temp has risen and your days have gone dry and your temperature usually stays high until the very first day of your bleed, that's when it ends. So when the temperature is high and then the very first day of your bleed, that's your luteal phase. Okay, and then her second part to this question, I have heard about late ovulation, but is it possible to have ovulation signs, maybe not ovulation, but egg white cervical mucus or breast tenderness around cycle day 39 to 40? I had those about 10 days ago, but still no period on cycle day 50. But since then, I have really, really bad breast tenderness for 10 days now. Girls usually have periods during this time. So yeah, Okay. Is it possible to see common symptoms of ovulation but not have actually ovulated? Totally. Yes. Breast tenderness, however, when that happens, Ashley and I are often like, oh, this person's about to bleed. That's one of the really strong signs that your period is coming. Now, you have said in this message to me, and you sent it 4 days ago, but I have really, really bad breast tenderness for 10 days now. So it's possible that I bet you that you reply to my email or to this message and you say, I did get my period a few days later. That's a very, very common sign. That being said, I've seen it before. We call where the symptoms come and they go away and then nothing. It's called a follicular wave, right? This is where your body is clearly attempting ovulation. It's attempting something and it goes away, it backs down, usually due to stress, not enough food. You can eat enough to have hormonal activity, but not enough to actually ovulate, to actually have healthy cycle parameters. So I want that to be really clear. So it sounds like you've most likely ovulated late and you just need a little more work and learning in how to identify it. And if you really are seeing your temperature is always the same, you have no symptoms ever, and then you get a period 120 days later, you probably are being anovulatory, but you probably want to make sure you're 100% certain that you know your stuff. And then yes, you can absolutely have signs of ovulation without having actually ovulated. And especially post-HA recovery, we want to use multiple methods such as checking our cervical position, checking our temperatures and our cervical mucus to be 100% sure that we've ovulated, because at this phase, things are so volatile often that we can't be 100% sure unless we're really keeping an eye on all of these areas. Guys, I know that this was a lot of information and it wasn't scripted or written, so I'm hoping that it was helpful. Please let me know if you have any other questions like this. I'm happy to answer. If you have any other questions at all, hit us up. Danny@thehasociety.com is our email. Check us out on Instagram @the Podcast, or I think that's everywhere. Oh, comment below if you have any questions and you're watching on YouTube. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you so much for listening today, guys. Please subscribe to the podcast, and if you could head to iTunes specifically and leave a rating or review, that would help so much because it makes it easier for other people with HA who are Googling around to find the podcast really easily. So if you do that, you're doing a service to all of the women.
Hi, it's Kristen. Did you know that not doing things is easier than doing them? There's a lot of things to do, especially this time of year. But when you don't do things, there's more time to do things. Does that make sense? What I mean is, when you use Shipt to get everything from gifts to groceries delivered same day, you have more time for the things you want to do. To not do things so that you can do other things, visit shipt.com/holiday. That's SHIPT.com/holiday.
Black Friday deals, the gifts are unreal.
Shop JCPenney for thousands of deals so low, no coupons needed. Through Sunday, get up to 75% off fine jewelry. Bring home Cooks and Black & Decker kitchen electrics, now $22.99 plus $10 mail-in rebate. And get Memorex home electronics starting at $27.99. We got your holiday.
Shop, JCPenney.
Offers valid on select items through 11/27. Excluded from coupons. Conditions and exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.